I'm Josh. We're all Tbw riders for this year, and we've got 3 new riders. We've got Sam Clark, Kishan. Kishan, how do I pronounce your second name?
Bakrania.
Pardon?
Bakrania.
Bakrania.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sam Ashwaden?
Ashwaden, yeah.
Ashwaden, okay. You can tell. And then
Max.
Max. Yeah. It's gonna be a nightmare, this for me. And then Ryan, is Watkins in it?
It is Watkins, yeah.
Yeah, having to try and remember them all. And then I'm obviously Josh Copley, but I know how to say that one. Been saying it for years. Go around the group. We've got a couple of questions and try and get to know everyone a bit better. We're going to start off with what everyone's best result is today, or what their best moment is on the bike. Mine has been written up a few times, was coming back from heart surgery and just completing the first race. I think it was at Jeff Shields, where I got around at the back of the pack. I think it's the last rider over the line, and I was in tears at the end. Did it almost all completely on willpower. My dad had a thing where he says, the only rule was I had to finish the races. He didn't care where I came. And this is the first race he said you don't have to finish it. And I had to prove him wrong. So that's a really good one. So that's kind of my best moment. I think I was in the 70th places at the back of the field. Sam, what about you? What was your favourite moment or best result?
Probably start the season, Seven Bridge Road Race. Sort of got finished 4th in the end. I've been out in Mallorca for just over 10 days. And I flew back on Saturday night, got my stuff ready, sort of raced on a Sunday. And finished 4th. It was a bit brutal, like leading into it, but good result. Sort of best like National B result I got. So
nice. There you go.
Yeah, sort of best result for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kishan, what about yourself?
I don't. It's kind of hard for me to pick. I've had results from mountain bike and cross and road, but for the road, obviously because it's a road team, I'd say probably finishing 35th in Assen, during the Tour of Assen, because that's quite hard.
Sorry, 5th overall. Was that?
Sorry? No, 35th.
35th.
Yeah, but not because the result, because of how I performed. I didn't get swept and I didn't crash. But in terms of best result though, like that would probably be finishing 10th in the mountain bike national. I think that was 2018-19.
I remember you saying that. That was a big result.
Yeah.
Such a nice one. What about yourself, Max?
Yeah, I think probably the start of this season. I mean, it wasn't a big race. It was some of you may be familiar with it, but Primavera. It wasn't actually the Nat B one either. It was a 3-4. So it wasn't the biggest race, but I ended up sort of I won there. Like I went off with a junior for the whole pretty much most of the race. But that I think that showed me. I haven't cycled for a longest period of time. Like some people have been cycling since they're sort of very, very small, but I haven't been. And that to me was the first sort of result where I was like to myself, oh, actually this is really amazing. Like, first sort of proper result. And it just felt awesome, even though perhaps it's not the hardest race at all, but it's just one of those cool moments. You finish and you're like, wow, that was really cool. You put into action what you wanted to do.
Nice. Like that. What about you, Ryan? What's your big moment?
Mine got to be Tour Cosville in 2019, because I just feel like we worked well as a team and we nailed some of the results and the finishes and just had a good laugh and we were doing it as well.
I remember seeing the photos and updates from that as they came out, and it just looked like a mega place to ride, and like the team was smashing it. Quite sad not to hear that one.
Yeah, that was probably the best race I've ever done.
Nice. Next question is, what's your most enjoyable ride or favourite place to ride? For me, I've been lucky enough to go up to Calpe twice, and I found a 100-mile route that did 4 of the climbs. So you went over 2 dons at the start of the day, and then down, and then you work your way round over another climb. I can't remember the name of the back of Calder Rats, and then one more. I'd put my headphones in, just ride by myself all day, take about 6 hours, and I just love it. I'd be in a happy place and not really caring about anything else. Didn't care about the speed or the power, just get round, stop for a coffee break. Absolutely loved it. And that's in Calpe, so down south.
Yeah, it was similar to me. I've never been Calpe, but I went Gran Canaria,
Oh yeah.
and wow, what a place to ride.
Yeah.
Just
Is that your
either
favorite?
up or down. That's definitely my favorite place. Yeah,
Nice.
either up or down, no flat. I remember I did the one day at a rest day. I did 2 hours. It was like 2,000 feet of climbing and like 15 miles. It was just like, that was a recovery day as well. It was just crazy.
What about you, Kishan? He's on mute, isn't he?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there it is.
I'll say probably this year when I went, I did a bike pack, like 500 kilometers, 3 days from here to Cheddar Gorge and then back home. That was in the late summer this year. That was really good. It was like 100 miles a day. It was just epic because it was just, I've never done something where it was just self-supported completely. I could always call my mum or, just cut it short. But there's none of that when you're 200 k's away from home. But yeah, just me and my mate just going out in the middle of nowhere for 500 k's, listening to 90s music for 8 hours a day is brilliant.
Like that. What about you, Max? What's your favourite place?
Yeah, I think to be fair, what Kishan said, I almost picked because I did a similar thing with one of my friends. I went bikepacking, and I think what Kishan said it is really like empowering to feel like you're completely self-supported. So it was like between that and finally you said Calpe, Josh. I think Calpe, I've got some really great memories, like being out there twice with some really good friends, and I think those memories are probably some of my favorite memories, and therefore it's a great place to ride, and the atmosphere there is it's just good because there's loads of people there, and yeah, I think Calpe. I remember one particular ride, Calder Rats, what you mentioned before. We did like a TT up it, and it was just bad chat, all the usual, and it was just everyone giving it the talk, and it was just great to do that sort of thing.
No, nice. And yourself, Sam?
Mallorca for me. Just sort of based in like staying like Port Valencia, and then just sort of roll out from there every day. I really like Sacalobra. Sort of every year I go out there, just full gas up it, and like I'm slowly like creeping up the leaderboard, and sort of want to go out there next year and sort of try and get the comm on that maybe.
What's your best time?
I've done this time I went out there in February. I've done a 27:02. I think it put me like the top 40.
What's the comm?
Comm's 24:50, I think.
Ooh.
Who's it held by?
Sebastian Hennel, I think. Yeah. So pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go out there on my race bike and sort of give it another go, I think. That.
Take all the kit out.
Yeah, skins and everything, yeah. Ditch all the bottles, yeah.
Moped in front of her.
Yeah. Start cutting your handlebars off.
Yeah.
Then last question, lads. What's your absolute worst day on a bike that you've had? Mine has always got to be, I hate when it's soaking wet and cold and you're just in the wrong kit. That's my worst one. Before, when it's getting to cycling and didn't have the nice stuff we've got now with the sponsors and Enduro and that stuff. When you had the really crap kit that just used to soak up the water, I'd freeze off completely and come back almost quite dejected. So those early long winter rides a few years ago, probably my worst days on the bike. And then moving on from there, they've kind of got better. But there's always the fear of going out and getting absolutely freezing cold again and hating it. As they're always my worst days. Who wants to head us off? Who's taking this one?
I can
Go
take
on,
this.
jump in.
Start with. I guess, to be honest, any time you crash is probably one of the worst days on a bike. No matter how bad it's, it bruises your ego, whatever happens anyway. I guess I've had a couple of crashes, and particular one, funnily enough, although I said Calpe has some of the best memories, I also, first year I went there, didn't have much bike skill at all, bike handling, was riding with a group, far better than me, sort of, and they just stopped quite suddenly. I was trying to take your classic Instagram worthy Calpe shot on the bike, had no, couldn't brake in time, went straight into the back of someone, got an instant puncture, and broke his dented his fork, and it was first day out there, it was not it was not great. I wasn't popular, put it that way, for the next few days, and I had to sort of keep patching myself up every day, because you get the classic sort of road rash down the hip, and on the elbows, so probably that was probably one of the worst days. But any sort of crash is not a good day on the bike.
No. Ryan, what about yours? What was your worst day?
Similar to yours. Being in Wales is like rain every day and snow, whatever. And I remember one ride, it was just, for some reason I rode around the outskirts of Cardiff, freezing cold, snow, whatever, and double puncture, fixed them, got up the road, about a mile later punctured again, mud everywhere, I had no tubes left, I had to walk about 2 miles to the calf, paid someone to puncture because I was just too cold, and I ended up calling my dad. And it was probably about 3 years ago now, but it was just what a grim day on the bike.
What about you, Sam?
Mine's similar to Max's, but sort of crashing in a foreign country. It was end of 2018. Went down to, sort of end of October 2018. Went down to Provence, down by Ventoux, for a little training camp. First full day, it was a really nice ride until then. Sort of up to that, up to then, up to when I had my crash, it would have been one of my best rides. Sort of done Ventoux, Gorgenesque, about 4.5 hours in. Went into the back of a car, pedestrian stepped out in front of a car braked really sharply. I went in the back of it and broke 2 vertebrae in my neck. And sort of just ambulance after ambulance, sort of getting transferred to different hospitals, and I've got a scar on my neck there. Don't know if you can see it, but they put a titanium plate in there, and that was 2.5 months off the bike. Pretty miserable time that was. That's definitely my worst day.
Yeah. I think that kind of up there. Unless Kishan smashes it out of the park, I think you've won that.
I don't think it's nearly as bad as that. I just got it's similar to Ryan, actually. I was in Wales doing some mountain biking, and just completely the wrong, didn't have enough clothes. It was warm at the start, and you get into the high mountains, and it started to rain so badly, and right at the top, so we had to descend for an hour and a half on a mountain bike on a wet trail with XC bikes, and I couldn't feel my hands. I was clenching my bars just to brake, and almost going over the handlebars on different rocks and slipping and sliding. I'm pretty sure I almost cried at the bottom.
Sounds horrible. And then, that kind of wraps it up. But just quickly, in one or two sentences, what are you most looking forward to this year? If we go around, we start with Max again. What are you most looking forward to of 2021?
This might be it might be a little bit contentious, but hopefully, fingers crossed, racing in a different country to England. But let's just all cross all our fingers for that one. Touch wood. Racing in a foreign country would be is definitely on the list of things to do. Nice.
And Sam, what about you?
I'm sort of fingers crossed goes ahead again, but sort of national road series and then national champs sort of being a big one for me. Yeah.
Nice. Ryan, what about yourself?
Foreign races like Max.
Foreign races. Yeah.
Get out in the sun.
Get the arms out.
Yeah, same foreign races. But I'd like to go and race a mountainous race. It's not crit or flat grim race with potholes and cars everywhere around here. Always getting hit by a tractor or something.
No.
Or a horse.
Yeah, exactly. I've been to Belgium or Netherlands and stuff, but it's just pan flat. It's horrible.
Well, I think because your bike skills really will fit themselves to not only climbing but then railing it down the descents, won't they?
Yeah.
And that would be.
I think you can make time on both sides of the mountain.
Fingers crossed. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing you absolutely fly around some of the corners. Hopefully, catching me up as I've smashed you on the climb, which I imagine is the most likely outcome. If I'm not.
Yeah. Well, the flat races don't really suit me since I'm like 50 kilos.
No, but that's where lads like me come in to try and help you get to the finish.
Yeah, you can be my domestique.
Or steady on, one step at a time, lad. No, all right there. I'm gonna call it there. Lovely to chat with you boys. Lovely to get to know everyone.